Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm meadsyreplays. Welcome back to the channel, and as you've just seen from the teaser, Wargaming did tease us with it a few days ago, basically with this image here and the cloth over it, so you had to guess what tank it is. Yes, the old MS-1 is coming back to the game. How is it coming back? It is coming back in an event that is coming up at the end of August. Now, there is something different about the MS-1. It is now a tier 2. It's not a tier 1, it is a tier 2 premium or collectible tank that you can get for free in an upcoming event with different stages. You can also, the MS-1's got its own profile background, it's got its own avatar, so yeah, you can get the MS-1 absolutely free along with the event. Also, you can get this tank right here. It is the Poodle. It is a tier 6 Polish tank that you should also be able to get for free. Now, the Poodle is, I've just put this against the VK30 01 and 02. It looks a decent tank, to be honest. For a tier 6 medium tank, again, it is Polish, the European. It's going to be a premium tank as far as I believe, not a collectible. The DPM is pretty good. Now, this could change. This is obviously in the game stats files already, but by the time it's released, it could actually change. So DPM 1900, penetration is better than these two, same alpha, but a little better reload as well at 5.05. It is a 75 caliber gun. Aim time 2.08, the same as the other two, but the dispersion is a little bit better than the other two, and it also has the 8 degrees of gun depression. It is a bit slower than the other two at 50 kilometers per hour, but all the power to weight ratio, everything like that is slightly better. Now, Wargaming does say in the notes for this tank that it can occasionally bounce some shots. Now, it does have 100 millimeters of turret armor, which is not bad for a tier 6 medium tank, and I think the gun mantlet actually covers the whole of the turret, like most of it. You do have a hatch on top, but it looks an interesting tank, and if you can get this for absolutely free, then yeah, there's 2 tanks coming in this event, and apparently you can get these tanks for free. It's a free event. All you have to do is win. All you have to do in the upcoming event is win games, and then win battles, and then you pass different stages, obviously one with the MS-1 and one with the Poodle. Now, upcoming also in 8.2 is, I mean, a lot of people have been complaining about the nerfs to these tanks in tier 10. Now, all Wargaming, I mean, some people may call them heavy nerfs, some people might call them not too bad nerfs. Like, honestly, for me, I don't mind the nerfs. I mean, you have a few tanks like the FV215B, the Kranwagen, you have the E5. Yes, these tanks are getting nerfed, but they're not really getting nerfed because they deserve to get nerfed. I mean, the E5, yeah, that is strong. The Kranwagen, yeah, again, that's strong. And played correctly, the 215B is very, very strong. All Wargaming is trying to do here is change the meta of the game. I mean, for a few months now, and Wargaming do this regularly. They do this like yearly, at least yearly, or sometimes maybe every 6 months. They're just changing the meta of the game, and obviously the current meta is heavies because of their hit point pools. It used to be medium tanks because, I mean, the DPMs that they all had. So what Wargaming are trying to do now is just change up the meta a bit, you know, just so it doesn't get boring. And I like that. I like the fact that Wargaming do change the meta every now and again. But the problem you have here, when they buff tanks to make them into the sort of the current meta, then when they do nerf them to change the meta, people do complain. But guys, all they're doing is just changing the meta. What meta it'll be, I don't know. Considering they're buffing things like the E50M, the pattern tanks like that, I'm assuming it is going back to the medium meta of the game. I prefer the heavy meta, to be honest. Mediums have more control over the game because of their speed, the DPMs. I do think that they have more control over the game when it is a medium meta. So personally, I think the heavy meta is better. People obviously have been getting crazy amount of damage since the hit point buff, but you know, we need some change every now and again, and Wargaming have decided now is the time to change it. Now, the 3 tanks in question that are mainly getting nerfed, the Kranwagen, the E5, the 215B, are they the right nerf? I mean, I don't think they're the right nerf, to be honest. With all 3 tanks, like, I don't think, especially the 215B, they didn't really need to touch the DPM. The E5, I don't think they really need to touch the DPM. The E5 especially, like, it is an all-round tank. It's a medium, it's a heavy, it's got great DPM, great armor. In all honesty, like, I know they are nerfing the speed boost, the extra speed boost, like the special one, and I think that it's dropping like 10 kilometers an hour, which is needed because it is kind of OP. But if they wanted to nerf all 3 of these tanks, then all they have to do really is remove that. All they have to do is remove the extra speed boost for these 3 tanks, because all 3 tanks have the speed boost. All they have to do is remove all of the speed boost on all 3 tanks, and then there's your nerf. There is your nerf, especially tanks like the Kranwagen. Yes, it has a great turret. It's a good addition to the game with the new mechanic. But I honestly think if you remove the speed boost from this tank right here, then it will change. It won't be as good as it was. But we'll see how it comes. You know, we'll see how it turns out when it does come. I don't think they are massive nerfs, to be honest. So I don't think it will change the gameplay, especially tanks like the E5 and the 215B. People are complaining, saying like the 215B, all it's got is the DPM over everything else. You know, it's still got the armor profile when you hold down, the same as this tank. You know, you go hold down. Yes, I think the traverse and stuff is getting cut out, but I don't think it's going to change too much. And if you watch this game here, the FE4202, he's a smart player. He's a very smart player, very smart player. Now, those are other tanks that are getting buffed as well. The Centurion and the FE4202, they're getting speed buffs, and I think them 2 tanks are going to be incredible. There we go. FE4202 Kran is pro. Kran is pro, and do you know what? I believe him. I think the Kran is absolutely pro. Thank you very much, FE4202. I don't know that guy. But also coming up, next update, obviously we have a new battle pass. Now, we have been calling for a tank destroyer in the battle pass tanks because we haven't had one, and what a tank that they are adding. They are adding the gun carrier. This is going to be the Dreadnought gun carrier. Of course, it is a tier 6 British tank destroyer. Now, this tank currently got taken out and put in as a collectible, but Wargaming, you know, it's a meme tank. Wargaming knows it's a meme tank, so they are adding it. It is going to be slightly different than the collectible one, as it is. I think it's going to have better armor, but I think everything else, like the gun, is slightly worse. So yeah, a few things to look forward to in the upcoming update. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and make sure you subscribe.